guys. We are Stoomboy, the Combat Companion. So, as always, shows brought to you by Kaizen Fightwear. The Kaizen Fightwear, a local company here, based here in Scotland, run by Big Max. Everybody in the jiu-jitsu scene in Scotland knows who Big Max is. Big Max is an absolute wrecking machine on the mat. So he's obviously brought out these rash guards, very, very cool designs, some funky, quirky designs. Definitely suit all you jiu-jitsu nerds, as I like to call them, all the jiu-jitsu nerds out there. So there's great designs. So head over to Kaizen Fightwear underscore co. Kaizen Fightwear underscore co. Check out all the designs and then just drop Big Mac a message and we'll get you guys sorted out. So we're going to be talking about Young Subs 4. Young Subs 4 is going to be at the Meadowbank Sports Arena in Edinburgh. Now, going to be Saturday, 21st of June. Already an amazing card that we've got set up for Young Subs. Some of the best grapplers from all over the UK and further afield. There's going to be a couple of Brazilians on it this time as well. We're definitely excited to see what the 21st is going to bring. Tickets, anybody looking for tickets, head over to Young Subs Official, and the pay-per-view link's in there as well. Tickets are almost sold out for this, guys, so do not turn up on the day expect to get a ticket on the door because they're also very, very limited. And once they're all sold out, nobody else is getting in the venue at all, regardless of who you're there to see, will get turned away, unfortunately. Now, my next guest has obviously been on the show a couple of times before. Anayah Ullah, Inverted Diamonds. So obviously Anayah was on Young Subs 1, come away with that sick knee bar finish, and obviously that was the title eliminator, so the winner of that was obviously fighting for a title, and they set up the title for Anayah at the Edinburgh show on the 21st. So that was all in place. Obviously took a match up last time. It was Young Subs 3 up against her opponent this time, also Daisy Bowers. So and she didn't get the victory, but as I said, she took a lot of stuff away from it. And she's going to come back this time and looking to take that belt back home to Inverted Diamonds. So Anayah, listen, absolute pleasure as always. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me.
Thank you for having me back on.
Yeah, let's tell us about you then. Obviously, again, training's awesome. I mean, obviously, I spoke to Darren. The Inverted Diamonds going from strength to strength at the moment. As I said, a lot of great people in the gym, good positive people as well. I mean, there's a lot of positivity at the gym, which is something that Darren has always tried to make happen at the gym.
Yeah, and training partners have been just great and stuff, and obviously Diamond Alley as well. That was great experience.
Diamond Alley was awesome. I mean, obviously, my co-commentator on the day was Anayah. So I think we had in the earlier day we had Barry Monroe, but obviously for the later show, obviously yourself, Anayah, stepped up and did an amazing job, an absolute amazing job.
I did get a few angry messages from some people because I was ripping the piss out of them, but it's okay.
That's what it's all about. I said that though. I mean, I said all we do is we're there to just talk nonsense for a few hours. Do you know what I mean? We'll talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. The only thing I thought you were a bit biased towards your dad. That was the only thing. But apart from that, you were all good, man. You were all good. But in saying that, I was a bit biased to your dad as well. But it was an amazing show. Diamond Alley was fantastic. It was great to see everybody out there. It was even more amazing to see your dad step out there as a black belt, come away with the victory. And I know your dad was very critical of himself after the match. And I was like, do you know what? It makes no difference how the match goes. It's about how it finishes. And he came away with a victory against a very, very good, experienced black belt as well.
Yeah, he was very proud of that. Obviously, you always wish that you did more, but there's not much you can do other than just work on it and improve.
Yeah, that's the first black belt outing. I mean, as the I mean, against a tough opponent as well. I mean, as you can't be too critical of yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's your job's to go out there and win, regardless of. I mean, jiu-jitsu is not. It's not always nice to watch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, he did an amazing job. So let's hope we see Dad back out there very, very soon. So what did you think of the commentary? How did you enjoy that?
I think it was a great experience being able to commentate on a match, just rip the piss at some people as well, just to get them angry, just see what happens. But You're right. It is, I mean, it is a bit hard to not be biased, especially when like your own guys are fighting. But I
Yeah.
tried my hardest. I tried my hardest not to be.
Yeah, I was saying that today. I was doing all the interviews today, and we were talking about the Team Scotland and Team England. And I was like, because obviously I'm a huge supporter. Anybody that steps on the mat, you know what I mean? I try and give people as much exposure as possible, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And but I was saying, obviously, this time I'm going to be for Team Scotland. I said I want Team Scotland to win, so I'll be booing all the Team England people out. And but it's all fun. Do you know what I mean? It's all fun.
Yeah.
I'll always promote anybody that steps on the mat, regardless if it's England, Scotland. But obviously, I've got favourites where I'm like, okay, I want them to win. So, just like everybody that's up for a title, I want all the Scottish, anybody that's fighting for a title on the 21st. I want all the belts to come back to Scotland. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want us to keep them. Do you know what I mean? So, so that's why it's going to be an exciting day. So, obviously up against Daisy, you fought Daisy at Young Subs 3. Very tough opponent, but you always knew she was going to be tough.
Yeah. It's good to kind of, I don't know, like experience different types of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people do things differently, so it's good to just have different body types, different styles, and just see what works best for your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, she's very, and again, I was talking to her today, and I mean, she's very dominant fighter in regards to, just once she gets a position, she does very well at holding that position and then making kind of small movements and so on. And she does that not just in obviously jiu-jitsu, she does that in MMA as well. So she's very, very clinical in regards to what she does. And I'd say the top pressure is phenomenal. I mean, you kind of felt that people would kind of give you advice previous to the match as well, and just saying, look, this is what she does. Do you know what I mean? And it was always a case if you end up on the bottom with Daisy on the top, it was always going to be a tough day for you.
Yeah. But it was like good. You know, something I respect for her is that even though I knew what she was gonna do, she still managed to do it, and I respect her for that. She's like very talented fighter.
Yeah. You also spent obviously the time a couple of weeks ago at the training day for the Team Scotland as well, which was awesome to see. And again, get to train with different people from all over Scotland, and just kind of again, as you mentioned, different styles of grappling. We had some wrestlers there. We had the boy Peter Buska was a kickboxer who had a different kind of stance style and so on. So it was good, that experience, and just being able to kind of see everybody and spend time with everybody else from Scotland, which is the first time it's ever happened. We don't see that very often.
Yeah. I think we need to have more days where it's just everyone training together, because you know, we're Team Scotland. We need like a chance to socialize and get to know each other and stuff.
Yeah, I think that will happen. I mean, that's one thing that Robbie wanted to do. And it was great. We had 4 black belts on the mat that day as well. We had obviously Jamie, Darren, your dad, and Robbie. So 4 black belts on the mat all at the one time, just kind of helping and being there if obviously anybody needed support. So, and there was a few wee tricks they worked on as well. So, which obviously we're going to see in the 21st of June. We'll keep that quiet. But obviously we worked on a few things, which was brilliant. So it's going to make for an amazing day. And I said, everybody that was there everybody's going to be competing on the 21st of June. So, and I think it was a decent turnout. I think it was about 20, up to, I think it was about 25 people, 25 grapplers on the mat, which was amazing. That doesn't happen at all, Anayah.
It's better than most open mats I've been to.
Yeah. So hopefully we can continue on. I know that they're going to be doing these kind of 4 nations, so it's going to be Scotland versus Wales at some point, Scotland versus Ireland, and so on. So, so we're definitely going to see more and more of these training days for sure. So, what about you then? Obviously, as I said, you were guaranteed the title after the first one. Amazing match on Young Subs 1. This time, obviously, in Edinburgh, in front of all your family and friends, everybody's going to get the chance to come and support you. Travelling down to Sunderland and Newcastle and all that kind of stuff, it's a bit of a trek for people, but this time it's obviously a bit closer to home for them.
Yeah, I feel like I like the fact that Dion's managed to get me like my title fight in my home country. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like it puts a bit extra pressure on me. Because of my own country. but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ignore that pressure and just do what I meant to do in the first place.
Yeah. So hopefully, as they taking that belt home, obviously you win the belt, you're going to be wearing it all the time, like going to
Oh,
the shops and stuff.
of course, it's never coming off.
That's what I loved. I did that with my IBJJF medal, and I remember like, the very first IBJJF medal was gold at the British, and I remember coming home on the train, and I was still wearing it, and people were looking and saying, "Oh, what was that?" And then you were obviously telling them the story of what it was, how you got it, and so on. And then I remember just sitting on the couch wearing it in the house, and I'd be like to my wife, "Oh, can you make me a cup of tea?" She's like, "No, no, make it yourself." You're like, "But I'm British champion." And showing her the medal and stuff. And so that's what you're going to be doing. You win the belt, you're going to be doing exactly the same thing, going to the shops,
Yeah,
school, and all that stuff with the belt on. So definitely enjoy it. Definitely enjoy it. So, but yeah, 21st of June, guys, Edinburgh. It's going to be amazing. It's a different type of venue that we're used to as well, Anayah, because obviously we
yeah,
know it's like usually it's nightclubs. So this time it's in the sports arena, and I know they're going to be adapting it slightly
yeah,
to make it to give it that more of a submission series feel to it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
yeah. Because I was just kind of thinking about that, like, because obviously the Fed and stuff is different.
Yeah,
They've got kind of stage where you walk out, but Meadowbank doesn't because it's a sports centre. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what they do.
yeah. I'd say I know they've got a couple of things planned, so let's hope they pull it off. I said either way, we're going to be there anyway. We're going to be there.
Yeah,
So, final thing then, Anaya. So obviously, again, you've been in the game for a long time. Obviously through your dad and the gym and stuff like that. But anybody in particular you want to shout out to? Any friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
I have a list, so I don't forget my own mother this time. So I shout out my mum and my dad. My mum, even though she doesn't help me with jiu-jitsu as much, she's still always been there for me in every other aspect of my life. My
Yeah,
dad, obviously, I think is pretty self-explanatory.
yeah, yeah,
My three brothers as well. They're all just there as well, giving me a
yeah,
hug when I need one. Um, Everyone at jiu-jitsu, so like Davey, Ian, Jack, Darren, Murray, Dylan, and like all just everyone that I train with, all the kids that I coach as well. You're like they're one of the reasons I also go to jiu-jitsu
yeah,
because inspiring other people that helps me, and also my own school friends.
mhm,
So Casey, Isla, Brooke, Rebecca, Jessica, Oriana, and Livia.
yeah,
Even though obviously they're from school, they're not in my jiu-jitsu life. They still, always put a smile on my face.
yeah,
Give me something to do. I always have fun with them as well, and they always, they like admire what I do, and that I've got respect for them and all the stuff that they do as well.
yeah, yeah. Plus, they know that if anything kicks off, you're going to beat everybody up, man. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah,
You're going to get everybody like, "Where's Anaya? Where's Anaya? Anaya." So that's always a bonus. That's always a bonus. So guys, one thing I always talk about as well. I say this on every interview we do, and we talk about sponsors. Now, sponsors is very, very important, especially for these young athletes, because what they do is they go out there and they put themselves on the line on the highest stages. I mean, young stubs for anybody under the age of 18, young subs is definitely one of the kind of in the UK is the top grappling show for kids in the UK. So what they've got is they've got pay-per-view. So it means that your brand, your business will be out there in front of loads of people, especially with it being in Edinburgh as well. I mean, Edinburgh obviously being anybody in Scotland, as I said, you're going to get to see your brand on in a show in Scotland. So it's going to attract a lot of eyes and a lot of people. So anybody looking to hit up any of these kids for sponsorship, and Naya, how do people get in contact with you?
Just through my Instagram. I've changed my Instagram to a professional account, so it's public now.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's just Anayah Ullah. That's ULLAH. And Naya is also spelt with a H at the end, guys. So Anayah Ullah. So just make sure you do hit up Anayah. Obviously, Anayah's got people around her. Obviously, dad's heavily into jiu-jitsu. Obviously, a very, very well-respected black belt in Scotland. And obviously has a great team behind her as well. So, and I said sponsorship's important because it helps these kids go out and do things. Obviously, they've got other things to think about, like school and Do you know what I mean? Like training and all that kind of stuff. And sponsorship kind of takes some of that pressure off them. So it's a definitely win-win for both parties. So make sure you do help Anayah if you're looking to get any sponsorship. And plus, obviously, she goes away, wins that Young Subs Championship. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be more expensive, man. The price is going to go up for sponsorship. So definitely get her now before she goes out and wins that on the 21st. So guys, Young Subs 4, Meadowbank Sports Arena, Edinburgh, Saturday, 21st of June. Tickets on the Young Subs official page on Instagram. Also, the pay-per-view link there as well. You do not want to miss this. It's a Scottish show. So obviously everybody in Scotland support this as much as possible and go out and support these kids, because what these kids do is amazing. And they pull off some crazy stuff. I mean, just go and watch Anayah's video, man. The very first Young Subs and that knee bar finish. Me that a lot of experienced grapplers would be jealous of what she pulled off. As I said, just to set up into the knee bar, sweet as. So we're going to hopefully see that or something similar on the 21st. But Anayah, listen, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today.
Thank you for having me on.
All right, but listen, you enjoy the next 2 weeks training, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Take it easy, pal. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.